OpenAI made a mistake, a $380 billion mistake. In 2021, two people walked out of the most powerful AI company on Earth. They left behind the team that built GPT. Everyone thought they were crazy. Even Sam Altman. 5 years later, their company is worth more than Coca-Cola, backed by Amazon, Google, and Microsoft. And it might be the only thing standing between AI and total chaos. This is the story of how two siblings bet everything on an idea most people thought was insane, and how they turned out to be right. Dario Amodei went deep into AI at OpenAI, where he became vice president of research and helped build GPT-2 and GPT-3, the models that started the revolution. His sister Daniela, completely different. English literature, music, politics, not a scientist. But that would become the most important difference when everything started to go wrong. But none of that explains why they walked away. What happened inside OpenAI was something most people still don't know about. Dario believed OpenAI was moving too fast, building systems that were getting more powerful without truly understanding what they were creating. He raised the alarm. Management listened, and then kept going. So Dario made a choice. Late 2020, COVID lockdowns. Dario and Daniela made their decision. They reached out, quietly, to a handful of researchers they trusted most. When Sam Altman found out, he went to Dario's house, personally. Dario's condition? Report only to the board. No more compromises on safety. The answer was no. Weeks later, Dario, Daniela, and nearly a dozen of OpenAI's best researchers walked out. No product, no funding, no office. Just a belief that AI needed to be built differently. During Zoom calls in their apartments, they argued about what to name it. The shortlist? Sponge, Sloth, Swan. They picked Anthropic. It means human-centered. But here's the thing nobody talks about. It's easy to leave a company. It's another thing entirely to build one that can compete with it. And what Anthropic did next shouldn't have been possible, because in less than 5 years, this tiny startup went from nothing to the second most valuable AI company on the planet. In 2023, they launched Claude, named after Claude Shannon, the father of information theory. Enterprises started switching from ChatGPT, not because Claude was louder, because it was more trustworthy. Amazon invested billions. Google followed. Then Microsoft. Then NVIDIA. Everyone wanted in. Total raised nearly $64 billion in 5 years. Revenue. They went from barely making money to generating billions, faster than almost any company in history. That's not growth. That's escape velocity. Valuation, $61 billion in March, $183 billion by September, $380 billion by February 2026. More than Coca-Cola, more than AMD, more than Home Depot. But the real breakout? Claude Code, a tool that lets developers hand entire coding projects to AI. It launched in May. Within months, it was generating $2.5 billion a year on its own. Software stocks lost trillions because investors realized AI wasn't just helping developers. It was replacing their workflow. So at this point, you might be thinking, this is just another tech success story. Siblings leave company, start new one, get rich. But that's not what makes Anthropic different. What makes Anthropic different is what happened when the most powerful military on Earth came knocking. And Anthropic said no. In July 2025, Anthropic signed a $200 million contract with the Pentagon. Claude was deployed on classified military networks, the first AI system to get that level of access. But Anthropic had two conditions, two red lines they would not cross. Claude would not be used for mass surveillance of American citizens, and Claude would not power fully autonomous weapons. No AI making kill decisions without a human in the loop. The Pentagon wanted unrestricted access. Anthropic said no. What happened next was unprecedented. The Defense Secretary gave Anthropic an ultimatum. Then the president ordered every federal agency to stop using their technology. They labeled Anthropic a supply chain risk, a designation normally reserved for foreign enemies. Dozens of researchers from OpenAI and Google DeepMind, Anthropic's own competitors, filed court statements supporting them. A federal judge blocked the Pentagon's order, called it classic illegal First Amendment retaliation. And here's the part nobody expected. The day after the Pentagon tried to shut them down, Claude's iPhone app passed ChatGPT in the App Store for the first time ever. Trying to punish Anthropic made it more popular. And this is where the story gets uncomfortable. Step back for a second. Anthropic left OpenAI because they thought AI was being built too recklessly. And now Anthropic is burning $3 billion a year, training models that get more powerful every quarter, racing to stay ahead of the company they left. Dario himself said AI could wipe out half of all entry-level white-collar jobs in 5 years. So the question isn't whether they built something impressive. They obviously did. The question is, can you build the most powerful technology in human history and also be the one to keep it safe? Can you race and also pump the brakes? In February 2026, Anthropic ran an ad during the Super Bowl. While their competitors were embedding ads into their chatbots, Anthropic promised Claude would stay ad-free. A $380 billion company spending money to tell you what they won't do. Two siblings, one bet. That the people building the future should also be the ones worrying about it. Whether they're right might be the most important question of our time. If this story made you think, subscribe. We break down the biggest power moves in AI, tech, and business, so you see what most people miss. Hit subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.